Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain. Welcome to the channel monthly update for the start of February. And well, there's a few things I want to talk about this episode as well, not really an episode, but this update as well. First up, regarding a potential a road trip or a meetup perhaps, and also fantasy baseball. I wanted to discuss that with you guys because obviously fantasy baseball, the baseball season is creeping up on us very, very quickly here. But at first, a quick update on the channel itself. You can see the last 28 days, over 100 subscribers, which is amazing. Thank you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Views are relatively stable, so watch time is up a little bit, so that's good considering, you know, we're getting to the point after Christmas where Football Manager does start to tail off a little bit. And revenue, ad revenue, again, this is you guys watching the ads, and thank you for that. That's remained relatively stable, which is absolutely brilliant for me personally, because this is what is going to make this decide whether it's something I can do sort of long-term or not. So again, that's just you guys watching the ads. Now, there was a comment that says some sort of the double ads that are coming up now. I don't know why they're doing that. What I can do, I can decide where the ads are and if they're sort of skippable or non-skippable. My ads should always be skippable, but I can't decide what ads are shown. So sometimes you'll get those ads that are like 20 minutes. Guys, just skip them. I don't expect you to sit there for 20 minutes. But yeah, I can't decide what sort of ads are shown, other than whether they're skippable or not. So apologies if that is happening, because I know I've seen it on other channels, and I have a feeling it might be people or channels that tend to have like you guys that are loyal and watch the ads, that the YouTube algorithm might try and like take advantage of that and sort of do the double ads. So hopefully they're not too long. I've never really had longer double ads. Sometimes there'll be two shorter ones. So again, if that is happening, it's out of my hands, guys. I'm sorry if it is doing that to you, but again, if you can watch the ads, are greatly appreciated. The analytics for this, we'll do a quick update of that. Again, you can see here everything is up, which is absolutely brilliant. Reach, what's this again? You can see there the impressions, views up just a little bit. Traffic source there is mostly YouTube, but suggested videos as well, and playlists and all the way down there. I don't think there's anything down there particularly of interest. But again, you can see the fact that numbers are still growing. It's really thrilled with how things are going this year. There hasn't been that drop off that you sort of after Christmas. Usually, you guys will have noticed maybe from previous years. If I've been doing the updates for a year, maybe I haven't been. I think I started doing them when I was monetized, didn't I? But usually after Christmas, it's just sort of a gradual downward trend until sort of the new FM comes out. So the fact that we're still seeing numbers on the rise, average watch time, which is something that always pleases me, because that means that what I'm doing is sort of entertaining enough that people don't necessarily want to skip through, or they're watching more of it. So that's great. You can see the sort of the most watched videos there. It's always the tutorials. The Leeds United save's been really successful though so far, which is excellent. I don't think there's anything too much down there. Audience, 2.7 average views per viewer, so 2.7 average views per viewer. So that means that most people, I mean, some of you guys obviously come back and watch everything, which is going to sort of make up for the people that just watch the tutorial once and leave. But that's fine. Number of subscribers is down a little bit, but to be honest, anything over 100 a month I think is really good, so I'm happy with that. But one thing that is pleasing me is our percentage of female viewership is continuing to go up, only ever so slightly. But I've said before, the fact that it's a sports management video game channel means that it's never really going to get close to 50-50, but the fact that number's growing, it does make me happy. So that's excellent to see, and we can see the age demographic there. Find your slot, I guess. But yeah, it's where roughly you'd expect it to be for the sort of channel that we are. Revenue. It's probably easier. I'll just show you this way. You can see there. It's roughly even. To be honest, it hasn't really dropped off too much at all. Well, you saw that before, which is absolutely brilliant. I always think these graphs are a little bit easier to kind of see how things are going exactly. But yeah, that's where the channel is. Really thrilled with it, guys. Thank you so much for continuing to watch. But let's get on to sort of the fun stuff now, and fantasy baseball. Now, I've been told by people that have asked that the Yahoo is the best fantasy baseball to use. Any feedback you guys have? Otherwise, I'll look to get this set up in the next month or so, and then this will be just for Patreon supporters, and I'll give you a quick Patreon update in a second. But yeah, there is a link to my Patreon down in the description. Any level Patreon supporter can join the fantasy competitions. There is obviously the fantasy football, the Premier League. That's been ongoing all year. But there obviously will now be the fantasy baseball as well, because I know a lot of you, we play a baseball game as well. So that should be fun. I will be terrible at it. I might even try and outsource it out to my brother, maybe. I would definitely be asking him for a lot of advice. But yeah, so this will be getting started, and I'll send everybody the link, sort of the password, however it works on Patreon. But yeah, just feedback. Is Yahoo the best one to use, or do you guys suggest maybe something else, and I can have a look at that? Otherwise, I think we might just go with the Yahoo. And the other thing, I was wondering if we want to go and watch a Bala Town game as a group. These are sort of the remaining fixtures for the rest of the season. Most of them are Friday night games, which I don't think is going to work, because to get to Wales for sort of 7:45 kickoff on a Friday night, it's going to be after work. It's going to be a pain in the backside for everybody. So I was kind of thinking maybe a Saturday game, and if that's the case, the only real option is the final game of the season against Barry Town. So 2:30 kickoff on the 25th, which is the last game of the season, the Saturday. And my thought is that it will be sort of relatively easy for everyone to get there, and then we can stay around afterwards, have a couple of drinks, and then toddle off. I think there are places to stay. I would likely come home that night, just because we've got cats and stuff we'd have to look after and feed and that kind of stuff. But yeah, thoughts on that? There's all the games there. You can see that the kickoff times, the home games are mostly nighttime ones, so they're Friday night games. I did check. Yeah, so that it sort of just gives us the one option, but it gives us time to plan this as well this way if we want to do it. But let me know your feedback in the comments, guys. If it's something you'd like to do, I'd kind of like to go see Bala Town play. I'll probably end up going just, whether anybody comes with me or not. But that's sort of like a meet-up, get to meet everybody, put, faces to names and YouTube profile names and stuff. So, yeah, looking for feedback on that. The other thing I should catch up on just very quickly is the Patreon. So I was lucky enough to pick up another Patreon supporter this month. Again, massive thank you to all the Patreon supporters. So we're up to about $60 a month now, 9 Patreons, which is brilliant. Again, what this money will mostly go towards is sort of be reinvested back into the channel for the most part. Obviously, we're trying to save up to buy a house. We have regular bills to pay. So between the Patreon and the advertising money, it all does, honestly, part of it will go towards that. Money is what makes the world go round. But my goal is for the Patreon money, for the most part, to be put towards reinvesting it back into the channel, so things are better for you guys to watch. So that's the plan with it for now. Generally that will be the plan at some point. I don't know what I'll do, but we're nowhere near that point yet. But yeah, anyway, the point is just a massive thank you to all the Patreon supporters. There are different levels of thank yous there for all the Patreon supporters. So if you are interested, or you want to have a look and see what you get, it's not really a get, it's more of a, as I said, a thank you. But that's all there. The link's in the description. But otherwise, guys, that is it for the month. As I said, let me know what you think about the Bala Town game. Yeah, it's just an idea. I had a thought. We can see what they're like in real life. Put some names to some faces to names of the players that we've seen. But yeah, just again, a massive thank you to everybody. Welcome and thank you to the new subscribers. And let's hope we come back for the start of March and we've continued to grow a little bit more as well. So until next time, guys, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.